Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 378, The Unexpected Kindness of Strangers. Intermediate. The rain hammered against the bus windows, blurring the already fading light. Inside, I huddled deeper into my coat, shivering despite the stuffy air. I was late. Hopelessly late. My interview for the marketing assistant position at Green Horizons, the leading organic food company in the city, had started an hour ago. I had overslept, of course. My alarm clock, a relic from my college days, had decided to take a sabbatical, leaving me to wake up to the sound of the insistent drumming of the rain against my window. Panic had set in immediately. I'd envisaged myself rushing out the door, hailing a cab, and arriving at the interview, breathless but apologetic. But the rain was relentless, and the traffic, as expected, was a chaotic mess. The bus, my only affordable mode of transport, crawled along, each stop an agonizing eternity. My mind raced. I imagined the interviewer, a stern-looking woman with a piercing gaze, shaking her head disapprovingly. Unreliable, she'd think. Poor time management skills. My chances, already slim, were now officially dashed. As the bus finally lurched to a stop at the nearest station to Green Horizons, I scrambled off, ignoring the amused glances of the other passengers. My soaked hair plastered itself to my forehead, and my shoes squelched with every step. I reached the company building, a sleek glass structure that seemed to mock my drenched state. Hesitantly, I pushed open the heavy glass doors and stepped inside. The reception area was a minimalistic haven of calm, a stark contrast to the chaos outside. A young woman with a warm smile greeted me. "You must be Miss Evans," she said, her voice surprisingly gentle. "Mr. Davies is expecting you. Please come this way." Relief washed over me, so intense it almost made me dizzy. I followed her down a long, brightly lit corridor. The office was a hive of activity, a pleasant buzz of conversation filling the air. "Mr. Davies is running a little behind schedule," the receptionist explained as she opened a door. "He apologizes for the delay." Inside, Mr. Davies, a tall man with a kind face and a shock of white hair, rose to greet me. "Miss Evans, I do apologize for the wait," he said, his voice warm and sincere. "The traffic was horrendous." I mumbled an apology, feeling my cheeks burn with shame. "Please don't worry about it," he assured me, gesturing towards a chair. "I can see you're drenched. Would you like a cup of tea? Some coffee?" I gratefully accepted a cup of steaming tea. As I sipped the warm liquid, I explained the reason for my tardiness. Mr. Davies listened patiently, his expression understanding. "These things happen," he said, a reassuring smile gracing his lips. "What matters is that you're here now." The interview proceeded smoothly. Mr. Davies was engaging and insightful, asking thoughtful questions about my skills and experience. I found myself relaxing, enjoying the conversation. As the interview drew to a close, Mr. Davies stood up. "Thank you, Miss Evans," he said. "You've made a very good impression. I'll be in touch soon." I left the building feeling a strange sense of elation. The rain had stopped and the sun was beginning to peek through the clouds. As I walked down the street, I realized that despite the disastrous start, the day had taken an unexpected turn. The kindness of strangers, from the understanding receptionist to the patient interviewer, had restored my faith in humanity. It had taught me that sometimes when life throws you a curveball, unexpected acts of kindness can turn things around. I reached home feeling lighter than I had in weeks. The thought of the interview, once a source of anxiety, now brought a smile to my face. I had learned a valuable lesson that day, that even in the face of adversity, there is always hope, and that the kindness of others can make all the difference. Vocabulary notes. Hammered verb, meaning hit or struck repeatedly with a heavy blow. In this context, it describes the heavy rain. Example, the rain hammered against the bus windows. Similar words, pounded, beat, lashed, drummed. Huddled verb, meaning crowded together closely, nestled closely, often used to describe seeking warmth or protection. Example, inside, I huddled deeper into my coat. Similar words, curled up, snugged, nestled, crouched. Stuffy adjective, meaning lacking fresh air, poorly ventilated. Example, shivering despite the stuffy air. Similar words, close, airless, suffocating, musty. Relic, noun, meaning an object surviving from an earlier time, especially one of historical or sentimental interest. Example, my alarm clock, a relic from my college days. Similar words, antique, artifact, remnant, vestige. Sabbatical, noun, meaning a period of paid leave granted to a university teacher or other worker for study or travel. Traditionally 1 year for every 7 years worked, here used humorously. Example, had decided to take a sabbatical. Similar words, leave of absence, break, time off. Insistent, adjective, meaning demanding something, not allowing refusal. Also, continuing or recurring in a way that cannot be ignored. Example, the insistent drumming of the rain. Similar words, persistent, unrelenting, urgent, imperative. Chaotic adjective, meaning in a state of complete confusion and disorder. Example, the traffic, as expected, was a chaotic mess. Similar words, disordered, disorganized, turbulent, tumultuous. Agonizing adjective, meaning causing great physical or mental pain. In this context, it means extremely slow and frustrating. Example, each stop an agonizing eternity. Similar words, excruciating, tortuous, harrowing, distressing. Dashed verb, meaning destroyed or ruined, a hope or expectation. Example, my chances, already slim, were now officially dashed. Similar words, ruined, wrecked, shattered, destroyed. Minimalist adjective, meaning characterized by the use of only the simplest or essential elements. Example, the reception area was a minimalist haven of calm. Similar words, simple, austere, uncluttered, spare. Horrendous adjective, meaning extremely unpleasant, bad, or shocking. Example, the traffic was horrendous. Similar words, terrible, awful, dreadful, appalling. Engaging adjective, meaning charming and attractive, also holding one's attention. Example, Mr. Davies was engaging and insightful. Similar words, captivating, fascinating, interesting, charming. Insightful adjective, meaning having or showing an accurate and deep understanding, perceptive. Example, Mr. Davies was engaging and insightful. Similar words: perceptive, discerning, astute, shrewd. Story written by Google Gemini 2.0 AI. CC music drifting at 432 Hz. Unicorn heads. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you.